News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. President Trump says he's lowering his extra 25% tariff to Indian goods to 18% after Prime Minister Narendra Modi agreed to stop buying Russian crude. Trump says Modi also agreed to reduce their tariff and non-tariff barriers against the U.S. to zero. He says India will also purchase more than $500 billion of U.S. energy, technology, agricultural, coal, and other products. The president is set to launch a strategic critical mineral stockpile with $12 billion in seed money to insulate manufacturers from supply shocks. The venture is called Project Vault and will pair more than $1.6 billion in private capital with a $10 billion loan from the U.S. Export-Import Bank to procure and store minerals for manufacturers. The stockpile will include rare earths and critical minerals used in products like iPhones, batteries, and jet engines, and it is expected to help reduce the U.S. reliance on Chinese rare earths and other metals. Iran's president has reportedly ordered nuclear talks to resume with the U.S. after Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei warned over the weekend of a regional war if his country is attacked. Bloomberg's Patrick Sykes report President Trump is downplaying that threat.
The ticking element is obviously that U.S. Naval so-called armada, those naval assets coming into the region. And then you have rhetoric from Iran at the top level from Khamenei there saying it would be a regional war if one were to happen.
Bloomberg's Patrick Sykes reporting from Istanbul. A partial government shutdown risks lasting longer because of political turmoil in the House over President Trump's immigration raids. The Senate passed bill to fund most agencies, and the Department of Homeland Security is facing a revolt from within both parties. Democrats want to prevent more killings by immigration agents, and conservatives are worried about abandoning core campaign promises. Now, if this shutdown persists, it could delay the Labor Department jobs report, it could hamper the tax filing season, and spread government contractors' pay and service delays with non-essential government workers being furloughed. President Trump has built an unprecedented war chest to keep Republican control of Congress in the November midterms. His political committees and the Republican National Committee amassing $483 million. Trump's wealth comes from tapping his wealthiest donors and relentless appeals to small dollar contributors. MAGA alone has raked in $313 million since Trump's 2024 election victory. Now, despite the financial armor, Trump knows that incumbent presidents almost always lose some ground in midterms, and national polls show a majority of voters do not approve of the way he's handled the economy and other issues. Stocks are moving higher after the latest data showed manufacturing bounced back the most since 2022 last month. Susan Spence is with the Institute for Supply Management.
I've been saying every month, when we have several months of expansion or growing new orders and backlog as a result, I will feel much better about it not being just an uptick.
Susan Spence is with the Institute for Supply Management. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index is up 0.6%. Spot gold now down nearly 5%. Silver down more than 8%. We do check markets for you all day long here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 is up 0.5%. NASDAQ is flat. The Dow is up 0.9%. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.24%. The 2-year yield at 3.56%. Oracle plans to raise $45 billion to $50 billion this year through a combination of debt and equity sales to build additional cloud infrastructure capacity. Oracle shares are more than 2% higher. Disney shares have fallen more than 4% after the media company gave an outlook that analysts see as disappointing. Disney reported sales and earnings for the first quarter that beat expectations, but gave a tepid outlook for growth in the current period. Bloomberg News has learned Elon Musk is in advanced talks to combine SpaceX with xAI because of the high cost of his artificial intelligence-powered world vision. A deal would combine two of the largest closely held companies in the world, with xAI valued at $200 billion and SpaceX at $800 billion. Bloomberg Intelligence Global Head of Tech Research Mandeep Singh says the move could put the Grok developer in better position against OpenAI, Gemini, and Anthropic.
SpaceX and xAI makes more sense because that makes it more palatable as an entity to invest in. And so that, for me, is the rationale, because there's no doubt that xAI needs more money. Otherwise, they would trail, behind these three frontier models.
Mandeep Singh with Bloomberg Intelligence. NASA is preparing for one more key test before launching Artemis II to the moon. The practice countdown is today, along with a wet dress rehearsal, which means the launch team is going to be loading the rocket with fuel. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman.
I would say this is the most important human spaceflight mission for NASA in more than a half century.
NASA is preparing to send astronauts to the moon for the first time in decades. If it all goes well, NASA will get ready for the mission as soon as this Sunday, February 8th. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.